Glad to have you on Business Glide. I'm Richard Mwenja. Welcome on board. And as usual, I'm here with our local economist, Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, great to see you. How are you doing?
Oh, fine.
You're an economist worth your salt. That's what
Correct.
you say.
Correct.
All right, let me have your thoughts on matters to do with Kenya's foreign debt. But before we begin, as reported by the Standard newspaper on 8th September, the overload 2025, every minute, the government of Kenya is borrowing 2.29 million Kenya shillings. Every single day, at least 3.3 billion shillings is added to our foreign debt portfolio. And in just 3 years, Ruto has borrowed 3.5 trillion Kenya shillings. Prof, already Kenyans are choking on heavy taxes. But if this is now the outlook of our foreign debt, are we finally on that path of auctioning the country to those who can oil our pocket best?
I can't say we are on the path of auctioning the country, but I like anybody else, I think this debt is no longer sustainable. We must find a way out of it. That's what I can say. It's not something you can sustain. The country can't carry the weight anymore. And we could obviously collapse under the debt. Yeah.
You're talking about the need for us to find a way out of these debts. And probably Safina Party under the leadership of Jim Wanjigi and lawyer Willis Otieno have that solution. And that journey starts with auditing what they term odious debts. Is that where the journey begins to fixing this mess?
Well, there's no problem with auditing what is called our debt. Maybe we don't owe. Like Omtata and Jimmy Wanjigi have told us. Maybe there's nothing wrong with auditing. What I don't really agree with strongly is to imagine it a simple thing. It's not a simple thing which you can solve easily. It's much more complex than they think. Yeah.
So then again, Prof, we're talking about a president who oftentimes talks of he has this mandate to sell hope, a sense of hope to the country. But then again, if his promises are anything to go by, some are saying some of his promises are absurd. Building a stadium, that of the level of EPL, planting 15 billion trees under his tenure, and many other grand promises. Are these promises what informs this huge borrowing whereas there's little to show for them?
Yeah, sometimes when you have a promise, you end up borrowing recklessly to meet your promises. You know, if you go every part of the country and promise them infrastructural development, roads and what have you, and then you go to the kitty and you find the kitty is empty, then you will have to borrow. Yeah, they are related, yes.
They are related.
Yeah.
So then again, Prof, there's a ripple effect that is in the air. We are borrowing too much, and now that burden is weighing heavily on us as a country. Perhaps what informs our quite negative ease of doing business. So if you're talking about Kenya being that economic hub and matching countries like Rwanda, are we living a lie if these debts are going to be the environment you're operating under?
You cannot develop through this kind of borrowing. No. You just become an economic slave.
Capital flight will be the word of the day?
You can't do anything. You need a reset. You need to create an ecosystem in which business and the economy can thrive. But this arrangement we currently have, you can't develop the country. Because somebody lies to you, you must listen to IMF, you must borrow and borrow and borrow. You can't. You'll be a slave forever. You can't get out of it. Economic slavery is a reality in the modern world. And what I think people ought to do is to have a reset. I've always talked about a national conversation. A national conversation with one question. Why are we not where we are supposed to be? Why are we not better than Singapore? We can't be like Singapore. Singapore is a small place. We should be better than Singapore. Why are we not even a quarter way, even 1/8 of the journey?
Because in the past, we've never had a president who's gone out of his way to make the difficult decisions.
It's not even
Ruto has pledged he'll go out of his way.
It's not a president. It is the environment. The environment we operate in, unless you are a dictator and you have a vision, you cannot change this country. Unless you are a dictator, you suspend the constitution and then run the country. You are a benevolent dictator. You are a Paul Kagame of sorts, and other people before him, the Muammar Gaddafi's and the rest who have transformed their countries by disregarding the existing democratic order, constitutional order. If we want to stick to a constitutional order, we have to dismantle the structures first. We have to sit down and ask ourselves, how come even the best intentioned person, if they landed in State House, they cannot change? Why are we even having a country where the president can commit all of us to anything? So ours becomes to lament, to complain. How in the first place is one, how can one person, an individual, commit us the sort of loans you are talking about? How did Uhuru get us all those trillions into debt? Where were we, all of us? Where was Parliament? Where was the judiciary? Unless you dismantle those structures, there's nothing you can do. We must dismantle the structures, have a national conversation that dismantle those structures, creates a new democratic order in which the president is not everything, in which there are functioning institutions. Beyond the judiciary and parliament, there must be other institutions of checks and balances with sufficient power and teeth. The constitution must be self-implementing. We should not rely on the benefit of somebody, on the goodwill of somebody, for us to implement the constitution. It must be self-implementing. The so-called committee of experts was just a grouping of jokers.
Panel of experts?
They were just jokers. There's no thinking in the document.
You keep rubbishing off every task force formed to spearhead reforms.
When a good thing is there, we shall see it. The product will be seen. These patching things, you call it a constitution, it can't work. We need a constitution that springs from the center, and the center are the people of Kenya. Show me in this constitution where the people of Kenya are. They are nowhere. The people live at the mercy of a few people. And that constitution, even if you implemented it, people are not anywhere near the constitution.
The sovereign power lies with the people.
No, that is just stated. It is not put in a way that it can be demonstrated.
Fix ye first the political kingdom.
Yeah. Fix ye first the political, and all else shall follow.
But you're talking about the need for Kenya to have this benevolent dictator.
For example, let me tell you. The best representation is at the lowest level. How many people know that the MCA is more important than the president or the governor? The constitution doesn't make that clear. And it doesn't have inbuilt in it the practical measures to make that the reality, that the MCA is the most important person. And he must work with people. How does he work with people? These guys who are lazy, they have to craft it in such a way the MCA is a product of the people, and he's the people, and the people are him. And he speaks with the people and for the people. For the people.
And with the people.
With the people. For the people. And he can only walk in one direction. The MCA can only walk in one direction of the people, where the people are walking. Any other attempt, the constitution is structured in such a way, he cannot make even 2 steps before he falls down and another person takes over as MCA. So where was the thinking in this nonsensical document?
You've implored our country to perhaps embrace a benevolent dictator. Is that where Matiang'i comes in?
You see, a benevolent dictator cannot work in a constitutional order. Matiang'i will be elected through a constitutional process to be president in a constitutional order. And he cannot violate the constitution. Even if he will require to violate it or to bend it to benefit the people as a dictator, he cannot be allowed. So that arrangement is different. That's why I say it can't work. This is the 21st century. Those sort of things worked in the past. You get it? Where a person, for example, grabs power outside the constitution. Then it turns out he was a good person. The people benefit. We can't go in that direction. That one overtaken by time and events.
Maybe the Gen Z revolt.
So we are just talking about how can you craft a constitution where the leaders are a product of some little engagement by the people, and they work for the people. And when they step outside the line, they can easily be edged out. Look at how difficult it is even to recall an MP. And I'm not saying it's a good idea. My thinking is people must elect good people, knowing they will be there for 5 years. So I'm not even a supporter of this recall. Just messing things.
Or impeachments.
Or impeachment, yes, they should be there, yeah, they are good things. But I don't put much premium on impeachment or recalls. I put premium on the election or selection or appointment of individuals.
Men and
What
women,
processes do we use to hire people through appointments? So that we don't have to wait for somebody we have appointed as a director to mess, then we sack him or impeach him. No. What processes take place? How do we hire people in this country, for example? There has never been a place in the world where people are hired through a more stupid process than Kenya.
Despite the vetting committees?
Which vetting? That's the most nonsensical thing you can ever talk about. So Kenyans say you have certificate of help. How does that make you a good worker? If you are looking for a director. Sasa kutoa certificate ya help watu ulilipa help. Hiyo sasa inatusaidia na nini? You are paid your care. How does that come in? You have certificate of good conduct. If you are a criminal, you should just be in jail. You can go and do ingine gani ingine. Once you have those things, you are a good Kenyan.
Clearance from CRB.
So what are we talking about? Is the government a debt collector? Beyond that, like where I come from, the moment you stop drinking, you are a Christian. Unaingia church. Huyu amekuwa Mkristo.
Apoe cheo.
Ukisema na nini Mkristo, unasema aliwacha kunywa pombe. Sio kama tunaelewana na wewe. Look at how stupid that is. So you have produced your help certificate, you paid your loan, student loan. Your KRA certificate. What is it called? Clearance certificate.
Clearance certificate.
You have your CRB. So you are a good worker. Then sit there and ask. After that, look at if there's any other question somebody is being asked. Nothing.
Where's your master's?
Then we go somewhere the highest qualification. In other words, from appointed positions to elected positions, we must have a mechanism where we get the best. So for your MP must be the best person for that job. Look in the UK, for example. You cannot just spring from somewhere and say you want to be a member of parliament. You must be engaged with the community work, community mobilization, this and this. Then people know you. People see what you have done. Sasa hapa, all you need is to get some money, steal it somewhere actually. It can only be money you have stolen, not yours. Every weekend, Ndege village, unawacha kwa 500,000. You attend like 4 churches in one Sunday. Yes, you land on Friday evening.
Yeah.
Saturday you attend weddings, burials, about 5 burials. I was in a burial of my friend, John Habwe. God rest his soul.
Amen.
On Saturday. And the politicians were saying, this is my third and final funeral today. Mwingine asema, this is my 5th. So you take a flight to Kisumu or wherever it is on Friday evening, start meeting people, groups of people, they know you have come. You spend a few coins, like 100,000 that evening, people who have come home. Maybe you have gone to the local to have 1 or 2 things. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying.
I get them.
Tomorrow, funerals, each you leave money, weddings. Sunday, 5 church services. Then you are sponsoring a football tournament.
Manyora Cup.
Then you go for a one next weekend you go for a fundraiser for a church, another fundraiser for something. Then you are the MP. That's not how it is working. So we must come up with a national charter that appreciates our challenges. Why are we where we are? How come we are being led by the worst possible people? How come for every one job, instead of getting the best, we get the worst? Sometimes you look at a person and wonder, how this person get where he is? If you ask this guy, which is your left hand, which is your right, he will have to think about it first. Those are the people we put in positions of leadership.
Even those with PhD professors.
It's not a question of papers. Many countries stopped looking at your documents, at your papers. It's what you can do, not the papers you bring.
Is that why our
People went through what they call the diploma disease in the 70s. 60s, 70s, and 80s were the last. For some countries, the last time they looked at somebody's certificate was the 1880s. Not like us, we still think papers are everything, and titles. So that even in social places, somebody is still calling themselves, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm Professor so-and-so. Yeah. I am you Reverend so-and-so, Bishop so-and-so. Even in a social place. Nani amekuuliza wewe, what's when right Reverend? What are you telling people?
Professor Manyora.
Hey, in a social place, even you, when you call me, I don't understand. So we have to have a conversation around what ails this country in terms of what stops us from being what we should be. How do we handle the shame of having so many young men and women jobless, with no hope and no future? This is shame. How do you handle that shame? The Constitution must address itself to those things. The impediments to national development must be addressed by the Constitution.
The fundamental questions.
Yeah. Matters of equality and equity, so that you don't have to know anybody to get a job for your son. Those are the things I was expecting to be addressed. It doesn't have to be direct, but you create a constitutional order arrangement where it is obvious. And then that will be followed up by practical steps. Like you get a form. Before you fill in, you are told, there should be nowhere on this form that indicates your race, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. All those features of inequality.
Discriminatory grounds.
Yeah, and discrimination. They should not feature anywhere. Lakini yetu, even the short list. ID number, the name, where county. We are already announcing your hallelujah from Vihiga. So we need to figure out as a people where we went wrong. Because this country has huge potential. Anybody who understands the world will tell you few young nations have what Kenya has in matters of the capacity to take off. So that if we got our politics right in this country, Richard, if we got our politics right and we had a national charter after that national conversation, the proper constitution and everything, with the national leadership that is correctly put in place, in 10 years, you cannot believe this country. I can give you examples of what I mean. In 10 years, which is the best public school? Let's take 3 or 4. The famed Alliance Girls, Alliance Boys. That?
Yeah. And Starehe,
Nairobi School, and all those good schools. Let's just take one model school, Alliance High School.
True.
In 10 years, and 10 is too far, but let me give it 10 years. This country can have Alliance High School at the very least, in every sub-county. In every constituency. We have 290 constituencies.
Yeah.
So in 10 years, you can have 290 Alliance High Schools, both Alliance Girls and Alliance Boys. A school of that level in Hamis constituency and all other constituencies in the country. At the very least, because it can, for some counties, they will have 3 or 4. It will go from the sub-county, that's constituency, to location, to ward, that every ward in some places, like Kiharu, would have every ward having an Alliance Girls and Alliance Boys.
In under 10 years?
Under 10 years. Well, if you fix your matters. Let me give you another example.
Sure.
The former King George Hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital. You know it's a very big hospital.
True.
It's not just a national giant. It's not even a continental giant. Kenyatta National Hospital is actually a world-class hospital. In
Kenyatta?
terms of capacity, in terms of the physical infrastructure, in terms of the expertise, specialists, special areas of treatment, it can compete any other hospital in the world. I'm not saying in Kenya or Africa.
John Hopkins Hospital.
Yes, it has what it takes to be like any other hospital. Even with all the land grabbing around it.
Okay.
We can have a Kenyatta National Hospital in every ward, not ward, in every sub-county, every constituency, mostly. 290 Kenyatta National Hospitals across this country in 10 years. Yes, it can be done. And we can go on and on and on. That is the Kenya that is possible because of who we are and where we are and what we have and what God has given us. So we are just messing our issues. We are messing our politics. In the process, denying Kenyans a Kenyatta National Hospital in every constituency, which is possible in under 10 years.
You're not scratching even the surface.
No. That is who we are. That's what we can be. That's where we are. That's where we can be as a country. If we get our matters right, and therefore it must begin with the right constitutional arrangement, the national charter that makes it possible for only the best to happen in this country. Yes.
There you have it from Professor Herman Manyora. If we don't fix our politics in Kenya, then the dream of Singapore will remain just a dream, good on paper. You've had it. Time now for our fan of the week. On Business Glide, it is none other than this refined gentleman from Germany, Kevin Kinuthia.
Kevin Kinuthia from Deutschland.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of us. And say hi to all Kenyans you can meet in Deutschland. And tell them to be part of this Nairobi Review family.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Kevin Kinuthia, and your friends for always tuning into this show from Germany. We give our thanks to you all. Continue subscribing to our channel here at Herman Manyora YouTube channel, and also on our other platforms, Nairobi Review pages on Twitter, on TikTok. Follow our works, and make sure you also send us your feedback regarding what we are doing here on the channel. Thank you so much.